Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Mobius 16 Light Orb Pendant. This is going to be the 134506. Let's get into details about it, and let's talk about the height of the fixture body itself. That's going to be independent from the rod that I have right here. So let's talk about that, and that is going to be really measured from the bottommost shade to the top of the highest shade, and that's coming in at 29.4 inches. So the diameter on this is coming in at 31, so it's a good size fixture. Overall height, now we're talking about the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the actual ceiling itself, is going to give you a range. Hubbardton Forge has a chart way down there in the corner that's going to show you the offered overall heights that you're going to be able to get using a different variety of these pipes, and you're going to use them different combinations, and they'll get you to those listed ones that are down there. So let's start off and talk about the range. The range is going to be 36 inches at its shortest, all the way to 81 inches at its longest. This is going to ship with 86 inches of wire, just so you know. If you need this to be longer than 81 inches, drop me a quick email. Say you're looking at the 134506, you need it to be X long. Could be 96 inches, 140 inches, doesn't matter. Send me an email, reference that 134506. I'm going to take your email and send it through Hubbardton Forge's customs department. It's going to come back with an answer how we can accommodate you. Adds a little time and money, but we do customs every day. It's the beauty of Hubbardton Forge that it's made right here in Vermont, only about 30 minutes from us. All right, so let's talk about Hubbardton Forge's system of these interconnecting rods. So you're going to be getting, as standard product to begin with, a kit. It's going to have 3 of the 12s, 1 of the 6, and 1 of the 3. It's also going to have a bunch of these little connectors that have threading on them on both ends. The rods themselves have threading on the inside, so when you put these together, it's going to be an incredibly clean look. So check this out. Look at that, you can barely even see a line. It looks like a solid piece. It's pretty cool. Hubbardton's milling on these things is pretty extraordinary. It's almost like NASA quality. So how are you going to put it together? Let's talk about that. So let's talk about the installation sheet that you can look at now. If you're on the page for this, look over there on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say, click here for installations instructions PDF. Open that up for me. It is going to show you a full parts list of all this stuff. It's going to show you good drawings of the socket cluster, how the canopy works. It's going to show you how you're going to be putting a nice couple towels down. You're not going to put the shades on to the very end of the story. You're going to put the fixture down here where it has the wires coming out. You're going to slowly feed those wires through each piece one by one after you've determined which pipes you're going to need to get to your targeted overall height. So you go through a connector, you're going to go through a pipe, through a connector, through a pipe. Once you get that all done, you're going to screw them together like I did a second ago, just like that. The wire is going to come out at the top right here. This is your canopy, and then you are good to go. Canopy is a 5-inch dome. It's going to go over your 4-inch junction box. That's what you guys have at home or at your work or wherever you guys are. And this has a knuckle built into the top of this, just like your finger. So this is slope ceiling adaptable to 45 degrees already, just like that. You don't have to do any customization for that. Okay, pretty cool, huh? Okay, let's talk about shades really quick. So those shades, and you'll notice on the installations instructions, the shades take 2 seconds to put together. They're a polymer fabric, so it's kind of this really stiff, you can hear it like that, fabric that's a snowy white. Has kind of like little lines in it that looks like snow. It's an opaque, so you can't see through it to look at the sockets, but you can get light through it on the other side. So it's it's almost like snow. It looks a lot like snow that's just fallen. That's the best way to describe it. And we're in Vermont, so we know snow. 15 pounds is your hanging weight, so it's really light, just hangs from a normal junction box. Why don't we talk about what's going on inside of this as far as lamping goes. So you're not going to be using any halogens in this, even though it is a G9 socket, which usually does accept halogens, but we have these polymer shades, so we're not going to be using those at all. You're going to be using LEDs. So you can use, the recommended bulb is a 5-watt LED, but when you go out looking for LED bulbs, and the best way to do it is to hop onto Amazon, quite honestly, and put in like a G9 LED, and up pops a big list of things for you to look at. So you're going to notice a lot of them are going to be offered in like 4-watt, 4.5 watt, maybe 5-watt, and that's going to be the equivalent of around a 40-watt bulb. You have 16 of these sockets. That's huge. So I wouldn't even necessarily go that high. I would go someplace from like a 20-watt equivalent to a 40-watt equivalent. That would take care of all that. You'll notice the color of the light is going to be offered anywhere from 2700 Kelvin to, which is considered like setting sun. That's that super yellow light. way on the other side of that, it's going to be offered in daylight. Daylight sounds warm, it's not warm. That's that bluish white light that you see on an overcast day. And that's 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. What we like to use in our showroom is warm white, and that's going to be 3,000 Kelvin. That's the same kind of light that's coming down on my hands right now, just like this from above. These are 3,000 Kelvin LEDs, and that's what we like to use here. That's considered warm white, and it's kind of the light equivalent of an incandescent bulb we grew up with. There's lots of different types of these things too, so you're going to notice when you're out there looking. So you've got these phosphorus ones that have orange lines running through them. Some look like corn cobs. They have like little facets in them and on the end. Okay, and some of these have prongs on the end, and some of them have wires on the end. But they're all going to be okay as long as you stick within that 4 to 5 watts as far as each socket goes. And I think you're good to go. It's a dimmable fixture. Make sure you really zero in on that, especially when you have 16 of these. You want this to be dimmable. You want a dimmable bulb to begin with. And you also want to tell your installer that you're going to be using dimmable LEDs so they put the correct dimmer on the wall. Let's get into finishes now. If you're on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over on this side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a tab. It's going to say Finishes Help Guide. Click on that for me. There's going to be a video on there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be talking about a chart a little farther down on the page. You'll see it next to me here. It's going to kind of go over the differences between heavy forging and non-heavy forging, and it'll be talked about in that video. So it's really important that you kind of watch the video, use the chart. You can click on that chart on different things. So you can click on dark smoke and a big page will pop up and show you lots of different things in dark smoke. Click on burnished steel or natural iron, it'll do the same thing. But it's really important that you understand how Hubbardton Forge's finishes are kind of divided into translucent and opaque and how they can look on different fixtures. Our showroom in Vermont has we're up to 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's on Display page. It's way up there in those red tabs again, so click on that and you can see what we have to show you. That changes all the time because we're always adding things as they come out. Showroom's open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. We have an amazing clearance center here too. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. If you were coming to visit us, bring a good-sized vehicle, something like a big SUV or maybe a small truck or something like that, because you might find something in the clearance center that you want to take home, and it's a lot of fun to go through. 75% off MSRP is an amazing bargain, so you should really take advantage of it if you can. Like I said, we're open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call us at 802-446-2400 during business hours. You can email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time. We love to answer emails. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No one else even comes close to that. Some larger items are non-returnable. We'll always tell you about that. It'll be in the description thing, that part of the description underneath on the very bottom. So keep an eye out for that. We also offer a rush program. Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. They don't stock anything. That's how you're going to get all your finishes, your adjustable ranges to play with, all those things. We can cut that time in half, and it's super inexpensive. If you want to know more, drop a quick email, and I can walk you through the whole thing, okay? So, if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Love to see you in our showroom sometime, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.